Hi, welcome to your reading. Thanks for coming on with me today, Sabrina. This is Bonnie with JOYasanAH, and Sabrina has generously volunteered to do a live 2021 numerology and tarot card reading. And I'm really excited to share this with you, and hopefully so that other people can get a flavor for how shockingly accurate these can be in a surprising manner. The first thing I like to do before I start is just to ask people, is there a specific question that you maybe want to know about for this upcoming year? Is there something that you're curious about or needing answers specifically about?
I don't know. I mean, last year has been such a year that I feel like I'm just pretty much open to whatever is gonna come this year. So I don't even know how to be specific for this upcoming year. So I know. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. That's perfectly, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So what I'm doing now, I have the deck that I use for the reading is the Angel Wisdom Tarot deck by Radley Valentine. This is a new deck. It came out in late fall, just before Christmas. And I have been working with it since. Absolutely love it. I feel the messages are completely spot on, much more accurate than any deck I've ever used before. So I'm just going to take a moment. I'm going to send some Reiki to the cards and ask for a good reading for you. All right. So I'm shuffling up. The first card I'm going to pull for you is for the winter. So it's the months that we're in right now. So January, February, March. So whatever comes out for this is going to be the winter card. And we'll do 4 plus a 5th one that's for the whole year. So the first one for right now for winter is the Knight of Water. And I haven't pulled this one yet. So I'm going to put that down. We'll talk about it in a minute. And then here's our, there's 2. So there's 2 for spring. So this is April, May, June. You have balance and this little girl here, which ironically, look at the little girl, huh? The 1 of earth. So you have balance and 1 of earth for spring. So now we'll go into summer. And this has happened. I've had a couple people get 2 together for 1 season. So, all right, this is going to be summer. This is awakening. And he's a little bit upside down in the tree, but look up, there's an angel above him. So keeping watch. And then the last one for, sure about that. Hang on. Oopsie, there it is. This is for your fall. And this one keeps coming up a lot lately in a lot of readings. The King of Water. All right. And we'll do 1 for the whole year, just to give you an overview of the whole year. All right. Wow. This is a good one. All right. So here's your 2021 card, the Emperor.
All right.
That looks pretty awesome. All right. It also, at the bottom, it has the Archangel Michael, if you see at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's 4 in the major arcana. So Archangel Michael is the overall archangel for this card, and it says, logic and organization will increase your success. Take charge of the situation, accept a leadership role, structure, and discipline.
Okay.
That sounds a lot like you, though.
I like structure.
So I'm just going to read you a little bit more about the card, because sometimes there's more in the book.
Sure.
It says, Archangel Michael is here with the world in his hands. His sword of light will help you release anything getting in the way of your success. Meanwhile, back at the castle, the emperor is taking care of business. He loves the empress and her creative chaos, but he also knows that chaos can be successful for only so long. Eventually, there's got to be a little discipline, a little organization. Okay, he'd say a lot of organization. This is the card of leadership and carefully planned strategy. Some mistake the logic of the emperor for being unfeeling, but that's not true. He's taking on the role of leader, communicator, and chief organizer out of love. He wants all the citizens of his realm to be fed, have a roof over their heads, and be generally happy. This card represents the need to communicate clearly, which that's going to come up in your reading, the communication. So I just wanted to like drop that little nugget there, the communicate clearly. As I have your numbers here to go along with this. And to create wise but compassionate guidelines for people to follow. If the empress is the big picture, then the emperor is all the messy details that have to be taken care of. Hey, somebody's got to do it, but don't feel sorry for him. He loves this stuff. Therefore, this card can also indicate that you need to hire your own emperor to advise you and to get this detailed stuff done. Thinking things through logically, worldly success, relying on intellect, balancing daily concerns with the big picture. Father figures taking responsibility for others. I would say that this is more about you and how you're going to show up this year as a leader to your own life and as someone who can structure and organize your own life so that it can be you're caring for the world, right? You have a lot of people care for, right?
Yep.
Look at holding the world. That seems very appropriate for you.
Like that some days.
Yes, but he seems pretty calm about it, right?
Yeah.
So not stressed. So that organization is the key to keeping calm with it. So another thing that's funny is with it talking about you being a communicator, you are in a personal year number 3, and 3 is the number for communication.
Okay.
Ironically, you are also born on a 3 day, and you have a life path of a 3. So you have a repeating 3 in your chart, which means that communication is very important to you. And it's also important for you to be feeling as though you are a clear communicator, because when 3s, someone who has a 3 birthday and a 3 life path definitely likes to shine, and not in an egocentric way, but just in a way that you enjoy speaking in front of people, you enjoy getting in front of people, you enjoy being a teacher or something in that regard. And it's not, sometimes I have to like unwind people's thinking that they should never be the center of attention because that's greedy. So it's like, it's not that.
No, I getcha.
3s are good communicators, and they're good in that role on stage in some way as a teacher or educator, or a lot of times it's in the arts. So maybe a musician or a dancer or something like this. 3s tend to like the stage. Okay.
I got it. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, but with a 3 birthday, the 3 birthday is the person who comes across as youthful, always like jovial and energetic, kind of like a Peter Pan type. So that, that youthful energy that you carry around with you, that's the 3 birthday.
Gotcha.
So I just wanted to tie those 2 together for you. Let's get into your card for the winter. I've never seen this shirtless man riding a horse before, but I never pulled this card yet. So it's the Knight of Water, and it says romantic, flirtatious, introspective, fickle, falling in love, being swept off your feet, a sudden love affair, a lack of balance in a relationship, situations or topics that make your heart flutter, a love of art and poetry. So let's read with the Knight of Water. Tends to be emotions, right? Which tends to be, can have love in the mix with the water. So let's see what the Knight of Water has for us. Okay. So this is for your winter right now, and it could be someone who's in your life right now, the role that they're in. It could be that, or it could be you in your life right now. It could be either or. Yeah. So I'm going to go to the end and just say additional meanings of this card: love of art and beauty, trusted keeper of secrets, consoler, gushing emotional displays, powerful spiritual experiences, vivid, impactful nocturnal dreams, playing on people's emotions, exaggerated experiences. So those are all the things it could be if it's not this big thing. So it's a lot of possibilities to it.
Well, it's funny you say the vivid dreams, because just like over the last month and maybe even a month and a half, I've been having dreams that are so real that I'm like, do I have to call that person for a loan? Like in my real life, I'm like, do I have to, did that person really want to come to BNI? Like these are the dreams I'm having. Like,
wow. Yes, the vivid dreams, maybe.
and I'm just like, they're so like realistic. They're not very far-fetched, but then I get some that are, but I've never had that happen to me. It's just really funny.
Wow. Okay. So maybe this is you tapping into your intuition a little bit, or more into tapping into your more intuitive side or sensual side. It says, well, hello, beautiful. This is what most people yearn for in romance. It's that feeling of being over the top, romantically, passionately, dreamily, head over heels in love. Your eyelids flutter and your heart is completely Twitter padded. The source of your, now this could be two, because you had your 2 year last year, right? So you're coming from the 2, which is the year for love, into the 3. So the source of your affections is perfection personified, or so you think. There's poetry, roses, chocolates, candlelight, and love letters. Well, texts and emails anyway. You can't get anything else done because your thoughts are on the knight in shining armor. An emotional intervention is probably underway. The question is, are you the one being killed or doing the healing? This night is romantic, idealistic about love, dramatic, poetic, and utterly enchanting. Sounds amazing, right? Yeah, well, hold just a minute. This kind of emotional experience knocks off balance. Whether this really is a romance or just something else in your life that has your heart all aflutter. You need to plant your feet flat on the ground and anchor your emotions. Get some balance. If this night represents someone else in your life, then you need to understand there's a chance that all this has staying power. However, there's an even greater chance that it doesn't. Knights of Water tend to be in love with love. The moment the relationship starts to feel mundane, they're on the next conquest, because the whole life is wrapped up in keeping that powerful feeling alive. Remember, this night might be you. An honest assessment of yourself. If you're repeating this type of pattern in your romantic life, it's time to snap out of it. Words of awareness. There's more to life than romance. Your brain isn't your enemy, so think about what's going on here. If it feels like things are moving way too fast, they probably are. It's okay to enjoy the experience, but don't lose yourself in it. Don't dismiss what your friends and family are saying. If you're the knight, pay attention to how you might hurt the other person. So it says other people: enthusiastic, captivating, romantic, passionate, idealistic, artistic, flirtatious, fickle, melodramatic, ingratiating, addictive, or codependent, jealous, manipulative. And then the last thing says, like I said, a love of art and beauty, a trusted keeper of secrets, consoler, gushing emotional displays, powerful spiritual experiences, vivid, impactful nocturnal dreams, playing on people's emotions and exaggerated experiences. So I don't know. So I don't know where to go with that. All right. So this is with your spring. So you have balance and then you have this little girl. So the balance is blending the ideas of others with your own to create something extraordinary. Successful compromise, the power of diversity, self control, patience, and balance. And that's Archangel Zadkiel. And this one is Archangel Azrael. So it's the one of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And it says a windfall of abundance, wise counsel, good fortune, an exciting career opportunity, a lucrative contract, significant purchases like a home or vehicle. So
Okay.
let's look at the one of Earth first. Um, one of Earth. Suit of Earth. Okay, Ace of Earth. Look out, it's raining pennies from heaven. An unexpected windfall of abundance comes to your life this time. It might take on the form of a raise, a promotion, a new job, or other types of resources, like assistance from others or contracts for future wealth. You might meet someone who can introduce you to all the right people to further your dreams. This is a good time to invest in your future or start a new business. Take care to use these resources wisely by making detailed plans for the future. So something coming.
That's great.
Yeah, a windfall. And also, it's going to come with balance.
Okay.
So it won't throw you off balance, whatever it is, whether it's a new home, a new car, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
a career opportunity. Know that it's going to come with balance. And if it seems like, whoa, all this now,
Yeah.
don't worry because it's going to keep you're going to stay in balance with it.
Okay.
So that one's nice. And then we have awakening. So awakening is another major arcana, and this is Archangel Shamuel, and it's number 12. So the upside down, he is the dreamer.
Okay.
So it says the dreamer is back in this card, and his situation will require the help of past languages of the divine. Archangel Samuel gets a better view of which path to take. The dreamer is back and he seems to be a little hung up. Or is he taking some time to think and reflect? Or is he just in a playful mood and wanting to take a break? His demeanor seems to say, ta-da, look what I can do. And yet all his belongings are falling all over the ground. Show you the picture again. See, they're falling out, and he is. The archangel in the card seems quite focused on something in the distance, but the dreamer is oblivious. The world looks different when you're upside down. Life is presenting the dreamer with the opportunity to see things in a different way, to gain new perspective. He's not in any way tied to this moment, so clearly any halt in his progress is temporary. The dreamer has evolved into a unique and quirky soul. He's willing to be himself without caring what others think. Perhaps you should follow his lead. This is a card that asks you to give to others and perhaps, when appropriate, put their interests ahead of your own. Additional meaning, unexpected changes, seeing beyond what's obvious, hidden action behind an apparent standstill, exploring your past lifetimes, unusual solutions, epiphanies. So I will say you're in a 3-year. And one thing about a 3-year is if you look at the shape of a 3, it has 2 humps and then it has these stop points.
Mm-hmm.
So the way a 3-year can feel is like you take this big leap forward, like you have this,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get stuck. Right? And then you have to like bounce it back again, right? And feels like you're not making progress. It's one of those one step forward, two steps back kind of feeling, but
Yeah.
you're still, it's actually you're making two steps forward and then you're stopping and you're waiting for the next two stops. So don't get hung up in summertime. Like if you have this big thing happen in spring and things are going, and then summer feels kind of like it's lagging and things are a little upside down and topsy turvy and not really progressing, don't get hung up because then it'll come back. You know what I mean? This is the way the 3 year tends to feel. It just has these little stuck points and then it bounces back again. And here is your fall, which is the king. So the king is king of water. Trustworthy, honorable, devoted, cautious, someone you can completely trust, a situation that is safe, a solid romantic relationship, hidden but well-intended emotions, a charitable benefactor, seeing a counselor. So the king could be you, and it could be where you're at, right, at that point in time, king of water. Or it could be someone coming into your life as a trustworthy individual.
Okay.
It says, you're safe with me. At first, the king of water feels very different from queen. On the surface, your emotions are restrained, controlled, and balanced. People can sense that you're a caring and kind individual. You're not oozing with feeling like the queen. However, down deep, you're generous, warm-hearted, devoted, and sometimes even openly affectionate. Unlike Knight of Water, which is funny, here's the Knight of Water. So it went from Knight of Water to King of Water.
Okay.
So that's kind of an interesting way to look at this, is that, you know, maybe right now you're wearing your emotions on your sleeve a little bit and like feeling sensitive and kind of like this waterfall of emotions right now. And it's kind of like a flooding, if you will. But know that like you're going to sort of progress to this more even tempered king, especially coming out of the 2 year, where the 2 is that really about partnerships and dynamics in partnerships. And and so that emotional, and 2 is a feminine number. So to come in with that emotional stuff for the 2 year and then sort of be shifting it through this 3 more masculine year. If this king represents you, then you care deeply for your romantic partner and your children. You are a trustworthy and loyal spouse and a doting parent. You're dedicated to giving back through kind works or financial support for charitable organizations and those in need. You're a generous humanitarian and a very refined and cultured patron of the arts. This seems very accurate for you. I'm like, when I was reading the Knight, I'm like, this doesn't sound like Sabrina at all. But I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go with it. People would say that you have a reputation for understated and quiet authority and earned through good advice and emotional maturity. However, underneath all this, the power of your emotions has the same undercurrent as the queen. You desperately want a deep, intimate relationship with other people. It's just that you've experienced the unforeseen consequences of such close relationships, so you're cautious, even a little afraid. If you tend to keep things under wraps with most people, yours is a charitable heart, and you don't have an unkind word for anyone. You realize that you can't possibly understand everything that everyone has been through, so how can you fairly judge? Therefore, if someone else has negative things to say about someone, they better keep those sentiments to themselves. Like the queen, you have a spiritual side, but more likely to come out in the role of teacher or guru, with just like I said with the 3. Yes. It's just that you'd rather teach someone than do a reading for them. All right. Oh, here's a funny one for you, Sabrina. This this is the most accurate one so far, I feel like. As I told you that you really need to learn the word no for everyone's sake. Don't be so afraid to show your emotions. Not everyone is out to manipulate your feelings. It's inevitable someone won't like your point of view, so you might as well get used to occasional conflict. Don't worry too much. And it says other people: honorable, faithful, genuine, loving, refined, charitable, generous, happy, knowing, codependent, overwhelmed by emotions. That was it said with the Knight too. They said the same thing, like emotion, wearing the emotions on your sleeve. willing to lie to avoid conflict, overly agreeable.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
What do you mean? I will take a picture of these and text it to you so you can
Cool.
have the pictures of the
Yeah.
cards. I'm just going to put them aside and I will text
Sure.
you after. So now I'm just going to go in a little bit with your numerology reading. So, like I said, you're
Okay.
in the 3 year, which is going to feel
Okay.
like these start, stop. And you're still
Yep.
making progress. The other thing about 3 is there's a sense of people with a 3 life path, and this is no different for you. Anyone I've known with a 3 life path is religious. And what I mean by religious is it doesn't matter what religion. I've known 3s who are Catholic. I've known 3s who are Wiccan. I've known 3s who are Buddhist. It doesn't matter, but they would refer to themselves as religious. And they have like a very intimate bond with their religion, if you will. And I feel like that 3 number is actually in a lot of religions. So in Christianity, you have the Trinity. In paganism, they refer to the 3. So the 3 number plays into religions a lot, and it's actually a spiritual number, right? So having that 3 life path, I think, not only makes you a good communicator, not only makes you, good on stage and in the spotlight, but it also, I think, has this sort of underlying connection to your faith, whatever that might be.
Yeah. I get it. No, I do. I get that.
Yeah. Every 3. I've never met a 3. Not religious. Doesn't happen. Does not happen. All right, so I'm going to show you your number grid, and I will also text you a picture of this. So if you look at this is your name. So your first and last name, when you take all the letters and convert them to numbers, you wind up with this picture. And what's really interesting about your picture is if you look, the 1, 2, and 5 all have the same number of circles around them. And the 9 is almost the same. So a lot of times when you have a reading, someone will have a huge number of circles around one number, and that would be their intensity number. You really don't have an intensity. You're a balanced person, which doesn't surprise me at all. You have that balance, right? It's like you're not really pulled energetically too much in any one way. Your energy is even between. Now, the one thing I'm going to say is if you look, that even numbers are the feminine numbers and the odd numbers are the masculine numbers. So you definitely have more masculine energy than feminine, which is very common in Western names. Now, don't take this the wrong way, because what that means is you're a doer. You get things done. You're action oriented. You are, okay to take the lead. These kind of things. It's not like your sexual preference. It's like it's having those types of qualities that would be considered masculine, right? And then feminine is more receptive. You're in a receptive state of receiving, of waiting, of being more passive, and that one isn't better than the other. But it's important to know that that's kind of the energy that you're carrying to the table. And you have one complete line, which is communication. I mean, you definitely have the perfect job for your strengths, because you get to be in that kind of teacher role and, lead workshops and get to be making connections in the community. It's really the perfect job for you. I see it like a perfect match to all the threes, and it adds up, right? No pun intended.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So one other number I'm going to mention is from your uh, the name on your birth certificate. So you have two name numbers. One is the one you currently use, and one is the birth certificate one.
Okay.
So your birth certificate name is called your destiny number. Now, what I have found in doing readings for 20 years is the destiny number is the one that people worry about the most, but don't need to worry because it happens no matter what.
Okay.
So it's a very ironic thing that kind of rolls out, but your destiny is a 4, which means you will have a mastery of the material world. You will be very grounded and practical, and really have no material worries, if you will. So
Okay.
if you worry about material, like about your finances or about your checkbook balance or about, having things in order, having things tidy or organized enough,
Yep.
the 4 destiny is just assigned to you to release that worry. It's going to happen no matter what. And it's really going to happen in your, when was it? When are you having the order? What card was that? I can't remember.
Which one is it? Oh, when am I having the order?
Wasn't there a card that said you were going to have order?
Yes.
Oh, it's your whole year. It's the Emperor.
Oh.
It's this one. So yeah, so the 4 is going to be taken care of no matter what. So release all any worries you ever put into that. Let them go because they're not serving you at all.
Okay.
The one number that you might get concerned over is your life path. And your life path being a 3 and being the communicator, I wouldn't get concerned at all because you are fulfilling that in all ways. I mean, I feel like you are resonating in a high place for that, which is why you tend to be a cheerful, upbeat person. If you weren't in a role that allowed you to be a communicator, that allowed you to connect with other people, another funny thing that 3s do that just popped into my head, 3s love to like investigate and find out everything about whatever a topic is so that they can literally pick the best one. And then people will go to them to ask what to do because 3s always know. It's like a weird 3 thing. It's like you need to know what is the best thing. So you have to like literally, if you're gonna buy a pair of shoes, you will literally go to 70 websites to look at all the shoes and the reviews online to see like what people rated them before you want to buy it. And then if somebody's like, what shoe should I get? You'll be like, oh, I know because I just did it.
That's so true.
It's a funny thing with 3s. So if you weren't in a communicator role, I would say you want to investigate that for yourself. I actually recently just did a reading for someone who really wasn't. She had repeating 3s as well, and she really wasn't in that role, and she really is struggling with lower mood. Yeah. So again, like it's these kind of things people don't realize how important they play a role in their lives. So your other name number is the one that comes from the name you use now, and that is a 5. So with the 5 power name, you are going to be one for learning, growing, expanding, like connecting out into the world. You don't necessarily want to stay in one place. Staying still isn't really your forte. And you also have a first vowel of an A, which is a 1. So that the first letter of your name is an S, that is a 1, and then your first vowel is a 1. So having that strong 1 energy really is you come across as a independent leader. Like you're an independent leader type of a person, and that definitely comes through for you for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. The one last one I'm going to say is that so you have this 3 birthday, you have this 3 life path. You also have a strong communication line. Um, your attitude, which is what you show the world, is a 7. Now, the 7 and the 3 tend to be like, if you look at the grid where they are on the grid,
Mm-hmm.
they're not really anywhere near each other.
Right.
And they're kind of like polar opposites. So what I've
Yep.
found often with people who have that kind of a thing where between the numbers in their birth date, they have a polarity, it can sometimes make you hard to read. So a 7 attitude is someone who can be reserved, someone who can hold back, someone who can be introspective. And your attitude is to come across to people as if you're a little bit held back. But really, you're a 3 that wants to shine on stage. That's your true nature. So
Yeah.
I would just say the way, and I have a 7-3 as well, but mine's flipped. So I have the 3 attitude and the 7 life path. So I'm the exact opposite. So the way I manage that, right, is to just say, I know that I come across as something that's not my true nature, right? So
Yep.
I know that I'm presenting in a way to someone that they're not seeing like the depth of the 7, which is a very spiritual, a very internal thing, right?
Yep.
For you, you're coming across as a little bit guarded, a little bit internal, but really you want to shine. Like you're there, you're here to communicate and to shine and to express yourself, right? And to lead others. So or inspire others maybe is the best word I think for a 3.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the opposite. So I come across very open and expressive, but really deep down I'm a very internal
Mm-hmm.
spiritual person. So it's
Yep.
just it's one of those things where when you have that conflict, once you know it, I think it's like you just have this edge, I think, to know what you're showing, but to know that not everyone's seeing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it does. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like if, even like a situation, I feel like, oh, like in a social situation of people I don't know, or in my heart, I'm like, oh, let's be friends. I want to get to know everything about you, but I don't want to come off too strong. So I hold that.
Yes.
I keep
Yeah,
it
which is
together.
probably, I'm going to be honest with you, I think you have the better combination of the 3 7 than me, but it's easier for people to digest. So, but it's true, like what's in
But
yourself,
not to me.
right?
You came up to me.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you came up to me, I'd be like, yay.
Exactly. True, which is
Yep.
probably why we've connected.
Yep.
So, I mean, let me just go through. So, your intensity is balanced. Your power name is that 5 of expansion. Your birthday is the 3. Your attitude is the 7. Your life path is that 3. And your destiny is the 4. You're
Okay.
in the personal year of 3. You have a first vowel of 1. And you have that strong 159 communication line. And you're really a communicator. And it's true. I feel like that's very accurate. So in this 3 year, you're going to take on this role of the emperor,
Okay.
and you're going to be taking care. I love the way you're holding the earth, but not too much. You want to, by the end, you're going to have a nice, you're going to learn that balance of not
Mhm.
overextending,
Yeah.
right? And not wearing, I mean, being emotional, but not letting
Uh-huh.
it hold you back, if you will. So I'm going to send a picture of these
Sure.
and I'm going to send a picture of that. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, no, this was super interesting, and it's so funny how like it does, it kind of blows your mind because everything you said, um I can pull meaning from for sure. Like especially the communicator, and like even right now with our lobbies being closed, it's like for me it's such a dark place because I can't talk to people as much as I did before. And I've always said to myself like I don't think I could be like at a desk or a person that works from home, or just because I need to talk.
Right.
Like
And be
just
around other people. You do. Yes.
yes.
Yeah. So
So
this
it's
has been
very
hard
funny
for
that
you.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, but again, it's like I still figure it out because I have to. Like I still
Oh,
figure it out how to connect with people, talk to people because I have to. I can't live in a world like that.
right. Exactly. Yes. And finding those ways to connect are super important right now, for sure, for everyone. I
Yeah.
mean, especially people that are people.
Mhm. Yes, yes, for sure.
All
But
right. Well,
this was so much fun.
all right. Well, thank you so much, Sabrina, for being my guinea pig. And if anyone is interested in joining me for a reading to find out about your numbers and how they are going to go this year, and also to get a 5 card spread for your 2021, you can join me at JOYasanAH.com. Click on the tab that says healing sessions, and the numerology reading is at the top. So you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, and there are links there through Facebook and Instagram to the webpage. It's at JOYasanAH, and it's spelled JOYasanAH, which is actually at the bottom of the screen. The spelling. So, anyways, thank you so much, Sabrina, and thank you anyone for tuning in. And I hope you have a great 2021.